Welcome to 180 and 180. My name's Steve Marriott, and in these short videos I'm going to give myself 3 minutes to offer you an alternative perspective on some of the current challenges that you may be facing in your business. Now in this session I want to talk about this thing called culture, something that seems to be on everybody's agenda right now. And the first thing I want to say is culture's no accident, nor is it the result of your annual survey, and it most certainly isn't the sole responsibility of you as a leader or a manager. Your culture is the product of the small and consistent actions that are taking place minute by minute every time 2 or more people get together in your business. So your culture never sleeps. It's right here and right now. And as leaders and people who are trying to drive a transformational change in culture, you shouldn't be asleep either. Your culture requires your constant vigilance and your constant attention. For too many organisations, culture seems to be a disembodied perspective, that it happens between other people and not them, that they don't contribute. And for those organisations, culture seems to start and end with a publication of a list of noble, well-intentioned behaviours and maybe even an annual survey for good measure. But without constant attention, those surveys will remain really unfulfilling processes, and the lists of behaviours will just remain unfulfilled wishes. So what is it that leaders and managers and everybody can do to keep culture on the agenda? Well, before you reach for another survey, here's a quick cultural barometer that you can do right here and right now. I'm going to ask you two questions. Question 1. What was the worst behaviour that you saw in the workplace this week that went unaddressed? And question 2, what was the best thing that you did at work this week that went unnoticed? You see, between those 2 responses is your cultural range, a place between where these poor behaviours are taking place and remaining unaddressed, and where these great behaviours are taking place and remaining unnoticed. You see, our behaviour is a choice, and it's a choice we make in an instant. Sometimes we make good choices, sometimes we make not so good choices. But your culture is the actions or the inactions of those people who were present and witnessed your behaviour or your actions. It's the consequence of what they did or what they didn't do in that moment. You see, whatever your answers to the cultural barometer, a great cultural transformation project is just about everybody being restless and vigilant. It doesn't really matter what lies at both ends of the scale. So long as you keep going after that bit in the middle, then you will find that your culture will stay alive and you will always be moving it in the right direction. You see, culture is everybody's responsibility, not the leaders, just the leaders and managers. So for the leaders and managers, your challenge is how do you enable and encourage people to firstly make better choices in the moment about their own behaviour, and then secondly, how to encourage them to step up and take action when they see good behaviour and when they see poor behaviour. So here's 3 things everybody in the business can do right now, a little bit of what I call cultural CPR. The C is about clarity. So what you need to do is clarify your behavioural expectations for everyone in the business. Now, most organisations are really, really good at creating a list of the behaviours they don't want. Let's turn that on its head and create a list of all the behaviours that we do want. And by publishing that, you'll find that more people will toe that line for you. The P is about practice, becoming a role model. You need to become your best example, or your own best example, of the choices that you make and the behaviours and the actions that you take. And then finally, the R is about reinforcement. When people do the right thing in your business, make sure you let them know. And when people don't do the right thing in your business, equally, let them know. By doing C and P and R on a daily basis, you will find that by those very, very small actions, you will move your culture towards a place where you want it to be. Now, if what I've talked about in this short video has inspired you or it's interest to you, then I'm going to be doing a longer version where I'm going to go into some more detail about what culture is and what it isn't, and about some of the really small, maybe inconsequential actions that have the biggest impact on organisational culture that you can do right now. So if that's of interest to you, I'll see you in the full version. If this is enough for you, I wish you every success with CPR.